Good morning everybody, and it's a bright new day. Welcome back to Bertie Bodget channel. We're going to do something a little bit different today with this keyway build that I'm doing. There's a few bits I can be getting on with, but we are in a waiting for parts situation with that as well. So while I'm waiting, those of you that follow my channel will remember this Zontes Tiger and all that shite there. I'm going to momentarily jump back on that because I've got a couple of little bits. I did end the video with "we've finished this, maybe," question mark, mainly because I took it as far as I could take it because I was struggling for parts. I'm still struggling for parts, the main thing being the gear sensor. I just can't find one of them anywhere. But I have got myself a side panel, albeit a damaged one. I've got myself a side stand switch, the thing that everybody deletes, but I'm going to undelete it because I think they're a valuable safety feature. So we may jump on and we'll have a look at this side panel wherever I've put it. It's in here somewhere. It's got some damage on it which I'm going to try and repair. It's the only one I could get. Also, I was watching Nat's Knackerjard channel the other day, and he was talking about he's going to reduce the number of bikes he's got to the one he's using and the one he's restoring. It kind of makes sense, and I really need to do the same thing. Out of my 2 sheds, I have 9 motorcycles dotted around in various states of repair. I don't know that I'm ever going to get round to them, but what would help if I could get rid of some and then focus my attention on the remaining. So with that in mind, I'm going to take a leaf out of Nat's book and reduce my 9 projects down to 2 or 3. Well, that's 9 projects. One of them isn't a project, obviously, my my V-Strom there. Yeah, and then we may be able to concentrate. So it might be a case of some of my projects I'm just going to sell off as projects to someone else. I don't know yet, it's just a thought going through my mind that was provoked by Nat's comments. Anyway, let me get you guys set up. Let's pull this shite out of here, find that panel and crack on, see what we're going to do. Cheers. Right, there it is. I've dug it out. Had bloody plants growing around it. What bloody hell's that down there? Anyway, there it is. It ain't a bad looking bike, you know. Really ought to get this one completed, MOT'd and out, because it makes some 17-year-old a cracking mode of transport to get to work. Anyway, unless we can get that gear sensor, that's probably not going to happen. Let me show you this panel I've picked up. Going on FaceBay? No, what do you call it? eBay. Had a pair of these for sale. He was asking £30 for the pair. Both damaged. So I buzzed through an offer. Can I just have the left hand side one please mate, 15 quid. He accepted my offer and here it is, and on the outside it looks pretty good. Flip it over and we can see that it's got one of the pins missing, one of the locating plastic dowel things missing that stick it onto the bike. I decided to grab it regardless because I just couldn't find one of these anywhere, and a broken one is better than none at all. It will need painting because I've done the other one gloss black, and I've got no gloss black paint actually. I've got to pop out and get some. But what we're going to attempt now is a repair of that pin. Now the way I'm going to try and do it, and I've never done this before, so it may there is a high likelihood it will go wrong. Now in here, is it that one? No, that's fucking anyway. Yeah, we have an Acer Aspire side panel, which is pretty scrap. I'm going to bin it, but just there, it has the required pin I need. Now my idea is to somehow cut that off. Then I was thinking drill into that, put a thread in it, araldite or some sort of two-part epoxy, screw this part of this older spire onto it and hope that will hold. I don't know if that will work. I don't know if that will evolve into some completely different idea, but the first thing I'm going to do is cut that one off, and yeah, let's see how that goes. Right, I'm not going to show you every single step of this because I don't know if it's going to work, and I don't think it'll be that interesting. But basically what I'm going to do is, as a self-tapping screw, I'm going to cut the head off that, sharpen it so it's sharp both ends. I then got the plastic piece off that other panel. Looks a bit rude, doesn't it, actually? I'm going to drill into the end of that and screw that piece into the end of it, and then I'm going to put some two-part epoxy on there and hopefully screw that into there, and hopefully that will be a strong and lasting repair. Let me have a go at that, and I shall bring you back with the results, whatever they are. Cheers. Right, there is my repair. It's exactly as I said I'd do it. Screw in there, two-part epoxy, still wet. It's supposed to go off in 5 minutes, that stuff, but I'm going to give it an hour. Time will tell if it's successful or not. Right, let's move on to something else. Right, what we have here is our brand spanking new side stand safety switch. So I'm just going to show you briefly how that works. It's extremely simple. Let me just park my ass down on my little stool. That bolts onto the side stand, and then you'll see there's a little peg there, and when the side stand is moved up and down, that peg rotates the centre of that safety switch round. And then if we get our test meter, and we flick it to continuity, so that every time I touch these together we get a bleep. So I don't know what the middle one's for, but on this bike it only uses the two outer ones. So if we put our continuity and leads with come on Bertie Bodger, get your words out. We'll put the probes of the test meter, which is set on continuity. I need 3 hands to do this, so just bear with me a second because I don't possess 3 hands. Come on, get it in there. Right, so that in there as such, and then as we rotate this round, you can hear the I hope you can hear the test meter. So it makes and breaks the electrical contact. So we'll get that fitted on the bike, and then we'll test it. So let me just get you guys over here. turn you around so I can see your screen. Right, that's where it bolts onto, and you will see that it has a little locating piece there, and there's a little peg there, so that fits on and locates. So we're locating this bottom pin in there, and then this slot goes on that peg, so it can't move unless the side stand's moved up and down, in which case it will rotate that centrepiece. These can become a pain in the arse if they go wrong, because they can stop your bike sparking. That's how they work, they kill spark, so they can stop your bike working, and it's for that reason that people delete them. I'm one of these weirdos that think they're actually quite important. So someone's deleted this one, I'm reinstating it. Right, so what we'll do now, this bike hasn't been started for a long time, so we'll do a quick will it run. It should do, unless we have my normal loose spark situation, which seems to haunt me. So right, I've got a temporary hose on here which was left on from last time, so we'll squirt some fuel in that, and I'll turn the can't speak today. We'll turn the camera back on, see if it will start, and then hopefully we should be able to test that switch and see if it cuts the bike out. Let me just fill that up and we'll come back. So I've got my normal little pot of petrol. I don't know if I've mentioned these bottles before. I buy them off eBay. They're for oiling sewing machines, but they're fantastic for this sort of thing, squirting fuel in plug holes and things like that. So we'll fill this pipe up. I did run it right out last time, so I've got to fill the bowl right up. And it's taking quite a bit. Right, okay, that pipe's now full. Too full, gonna leak. Right, at the minute the side stand's up. The side stand is up. Now these work in two ways. On my Suzuki, for instance, you can start the bike with the side stand down, but it's somehow linked into the gearbox, so as soon as you put the bike into gear, it will then cut out. I believe these do it in a slightly cheaper way, in that it's just linked into the spark directly, and as soon as it just will not start with the side stand down. That's how it should work. Whether it will or not, let's find out. Right, bit of choke. Half choke. Right, well, it's not starting at all, so whether that's to do with the side stand switch, I don't know, but the side stand's up, so right, just disconnected it. Okay. Starting. Right, now I'm going to connect. Okay, right, so what we've got here is it's working backwards, I think. So if we put that side stand down, yeah, it's actually working backwards. Don't know why. So as soon as I put the side stand up, it cuts out. Anyway, it proves the concept. The side stand is working, just not as it should be. Let me tinker around with that, see if I can. I don't know if it's just a case of swapping the wires over. I don't think it is, because I think it's just a dead short to the spark. Maybe we can turn that round on there. Anyway, let me mess about with it and we'll come back. Okay, right, that now works. I finally figured it out. It was just a case of, if you remember earlier, I showed you those 3 wires and there was only 2 wires on the bike. Well, all I had to do was swap the centre wire over to the outer, and then that's why there's 3 wires in effect, because you can change it from break, or when you put the centre stand down, it'll either make or break the connection, and you can change that over by swapping those 3 wires. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll show you. As you can see now, the centre stand is up, and I'll start the bike and then put the centre stand down. The bike starts no problem. Centre stand, side stand I mean, not centre stand, instantly cuts the bike out. Good. That is now working. I nearly had a disaster, because initially I took the bottom end apart and springs and bits of metal and everything pinged out all over the place. But yeah, now working. What next? Don't know. The only thing now stopping me taking this bike for an MOT, and I don't even think it's an MOT issue, is the gear sensor. And that puts up on the top here, may have explained this before, but that will tell you what gear you're in. Now I know you don't need to know what gear you're in, but the same device, if you like, also puts the neutral light on. So I've got no neutral light. I don't know if that's an MOT failure. Either way, I would like it working properly. So that's what we need. You can see we've got a gear sensor on there now. That was a cheap Chinese one. It doesn't work. It's either faulty or it's wired wrong. I suspect it's wired wrong and could possibly be rewired, but I cannot find a pin out or a wiring diagram anywhere in order to do that. I did have the old one, but like a fool I put the new one on thinking that would work fine, threw the old one away and no idea where it is now, so I could have copied the wiring over. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Let's have a bit of a tidy up and we'll get back onto it. Right, that's that thing on the that I glued to the, what do you call it, the panel. That seems to have I mean, it feels really, really firm. It's metal reinforced as well, so I reckon that might be okay. Obviously we won't know till it's been on and off a few times. It might give way. I've got to get myself some paint and give that a coat of black, which is a shame because it's the same colour as the tank, but the other one's black, so it's going to be easier to paint this black than try and get this paint and paint the other one this colour. So anyway, yeah, I've been messing about with this this gear sensor, and I'll be honest, it's doing me head in, because if I've got it disconnected now. If I touch any one of those connectors with a connection from Earth, then it displays on there what the gear is, no problem. So if I touch it on that one, it will display neutral. If I touch it on that one first, etc, etc. It just needs an Earth connection, a ground, and then it works fine. If I don't know if you can see it, but down in there where the sensor connects, there's a little pin sticking out. Now that is connected to ground. So one would think that if that's connected to ground and this needs a ground, then plug it on there and it'll work. well, it don't, and I'm struggling to find out why, to be honest with you. But it's an absolutely beautiful day, and I'm thinking of going out for a ride instead of buggering about with this bike. This, if I can get that gear sensor working, is MOT-able. We can stick this in for an MOT and we're done. My RKV, I was thinking, because it's now single seat and I don't need these foot pegs, I might pinch them for the Zontes, because the one on the Zontes are crap. The only trouble is they are fitted at an angle, so they might be, I think they're going to be facing the wrong way. My Suzuki, I'll put it up for sale. The reason being, I found a Triumph Scrambler that I really like. It's a Triumph Scrambler 900. I don't want to get another bike without getting rid of at least one or two, because I'm just running out of room, which is unfortunate, because that Suzuki is a lovely bike to ride. But anyway, yeah, if that happens, we'll show you it. Right, what next? What next indeed? I think I will probably rub down this side panel and give that a coat of primer, and then when I get my black paint, we can black it the same as that one. Right, I'm sure you don't want to see me sanding. Let's get on with it. Right, as you can see, I've popped the seat and tank back on. Side panel's not on, obviously. I can't figure this out. This gear indicator thing, every component works when you check it as an individual component. The wiring seems to work, there's connectivity down there, all the connections there, I've tested each plug separately. Every single thing works as an individual component. It's only when you put the whole thing together it don't work, and I'm not entirely sure why. I can only think that maybe this this thing down here, the actual sensor bolted to the engine, possibly is slightly different and it's not making good contact. I don't really know. I've got to try and get another one, I think, with no guarantee that will be the answer to the problem. But that is complete. There is nothing stopping me MOTing this bike now, with the exception of trying to get that gear indicator sorted out. And I want to get it sorted out as well, because everything on this bike is perfect. There is nothing wrong with it. Every single component works, apart from that. So I don't like selling a bike saying, yeah, it's a good bike, but this don't work or that don't work. I want to sell a bike that's, yes mate, it's ready to go, jump on it and away. Anyway, side panels I have painted. I didn't get any gloss black. What I did is I rubbed the one down that was already gloss black, rubbed down the new one, and I've painted them both satin black, so we'll leave them there to dry. They're ready to go back on. Yeah, I think once again say bye bye to the Zontes, because until we get that gear sensor, we're putting it back into hibernation. Let's hope we find one very soon and get this out and back on the road and doing what it's supposed to do. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. We'll leave it here, catch you on the next one. Bertie Bodgett signing off.